Dogs. Throughout time, they have been many things to us. Companions, status symbols, beasts of burden, saviors, and best friends. Welcome to the coast of Maine, and welcome to A&E's special presentation of dogs. A look at one of the most enduring relationships in history, that friendship between humans and their dogs. I'm Jack Perkins. This is Browser, my dog. Or I guess as he would rather have it, I am his person. Put another way, we are members of the same pack. And that really harks back to how it all began. Back almost at the beginning of civilization, this wonderful relationship. And as we shall see, this relationship, when it began, it was the creature, open-minded and curious, who made the first approach. Did he know what he was getting in for? Maybe he did. Join us now as A&E presents the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Dogs are domesticated wolves. Over 20,000 years ago, some wolves were attracted to the fires and abundant food of human encampments. They were entering a new world.
When a dog begins to do that, it's a demon spirit, because God gave man dominion over all the creatures of the earth.
They don't give dogs like this away for no reason. You know, he wasn't housebroken, he was destructive, and he was aggressive. Great gift.
He kept thinking that he would be okay, you know, because he was so young. If he was an older dog, he said he would expect maybe cancer or something, but he was so young.
It's closer than a collie. One police dog is worth 20 policemen.
They're my soulmates, my lovers. My best conversations are with my dogs.
And when he gets on the bed, he's in charge. Charge of me. He's fantastic.
Myself, I prefer a bitch. I tend to have more bondage with a bitch.
I've never felt like this before. God, I want to keep her. I do. I love her a lot.
From the wild and inquisitive wolf, we created our own best friend. What would the future hold for this extraordinary partnership? For the answer, A&E will be going around the world. To London for an audience with the Queen's Welsh Corgis. To Tokyo, where the mighty Tosa carries on the samurai tradition. In Italy, we'll visit a festival honoring the country's bravest and most courageous dogs. From the Dalai Lama, we'll learn why the dogs of Tibet are thought to be reincarnated Buddhist priests.
Hard right. Good girl, Haley.
And here at home, we'll see how dogs are transforming the lives of inmates at a top-security prison in Seattle. Our friendship with dogs began with man's success in making himself the dog's pack leader and taking control of the destiny of another intelligent species. From Arctic to jungle, from Beverly Hills to Beijing, it's been a highly charged adventure based on an attraction that can be both fruitful and fatal. The dog has become an essential part of our emotions and aspirations, our beliefs and livelihoods. Dogs have become the objects of our fantasies and the victims of our fashions. They reflect our view of the world, defending the honor of a Japanese gangster, achieving the status of a Hollywood superstar, absorbing our fears and hatreds, being worshipped as gods. Their miraculous abilities have been harnessed to predict epileptic fits, to guard our flocks, to stimulate a loving response when no other method will. Our friendship is one which goes to the heart of human emotions and tells us a great deal about ourselves. In China, dogs, like people, have to obey the authorities. Any dog that finds itself in Beijing may get a life sentence behind bars. Beijing is a big city with a difference. Amidst the bustling traffic of buses and bicycles, there is not a dog to be seen. During a cleanup campaign, the city banned the private ownership of dogs. So now dog-deprived Chinese come to the Beijing Dog Zoo. For 2 yuan, or the cost of 1 bicycle tire, you can hire a dog for an emotionally fulfilling 10-minute walk. What could be more romantic than a date with Rover for a couple of newlyweds from equally dogless Shanghai?
We came here for our honeymoon. It's forbidden to raise dogs, but we really love dogs. So when we heard of these dogs in Beijing, we couldn't resist hiring one and taking it for a walk.
75 different dogs, including the homegrown Pekingese, are safely kept on display. Only foreigners are officially allowed to own dogs. They and their animals live in special compounds. When Kate Bourne takes her Labrador Lucy out for a walk, people stop and stare.
People seem to have one of two extreme reactions. Either they're very frightened and want nothing to do with her and sort of haul their children out of the way by the hand, or they're very curious and with a little hesitation will come up and pat her and want to talk about dogs. And quite a lot of people either have dogs outside of the city somewhere or have had dogs, and a couple of people have told me about how their dogs were beaten to death by the Public Security Bureau, sort of with tears in their eyes, and they're always very happy to see Lucy.
Even in supposedly dog-loving Western societies, a dog cannot always trust his best friend. Thousands of unclaimed dogs are destroyed every week. What kind of friendship did the wolves' descendants let themselves in for? To tame wolves, man had to become the leader of the pack. At a wolf sanctuary, Jack Leffer shows how it's done.
She's gone submissive for me. She's showing me that although she doesn't want to go home, she will accept the fact that in this case, I'm going to be dominant over her, put the lead on her, and take her home. She's treating me like the alpha wolf of the family. I am the lead of her family. I am telling her what to do by putting on this lead. She doesn't want to. She wants to stay here, but she has enough faith in my ability to lead that she will go down the hill with us. Let's go home. Come on, baby. Let's go home.
200 miles north of the Arctic Circle, one man's position as leader of his pack of dogs will determine his and his family's welfare for the year. In Arctic Greenland, human life is based on close cooperation with dogs. The perfect obedience of the Greenland Huskies is one of the most beautiful examples of man and dog in harmony.
Take the leash and gently but firmly, straight up in the air, put them into a sit, and then release it. Okay, we're going to try it. And forward, heel. 1, 2, sit.
Like the well-trained husky team, dogs, by and large, do what we tell them to. But when we fail to send out clear signals about who's boss, the trouble starts.
No, that's good. Stop. No, stop. No, that's good.
You know, he's not a big dog, but he's very powerful.
Stop.
And I guess he sensed that I was afraid, and I think it's ridiculous to be afraid of your own dog.
Simon Iverson manages his dog team through a close relationship with the lead husky, Caillou.
Caillou is the boss. It's the boss, Caillou. Because he's strong and he understands me.
No. Stop.
He's bitten everyone in the household. There's 5 of us.
And unprovoked, he'll just turn and become nasty. He's very possessive, but very bratty behavior. You know, I questioned the breeder. He's from show dogs, that possibly he's too closely bred.
I was not a fan at first. I was looking for a boxer or a German shepherd and a dog that would be a pal to me, and we'd run and fetch and play frisbee.
They don't know what it is. Some people see her from behind and they think it's a little piglet.
A dog like the hairless Chinese Crested, developed thousands of years ago as an attractive curiosity, shows that dogs are very much man-made animals.
When we went to New York, what we had to do is we had to dress her for that weather. So she had to wear her boots, her little fur coat, and also her jogging. It was the type of dog I could relate to. At that time also I was having bad allergies, and these dogs don't have hair except for the crest on top. They don't get fleas. I'm allergic to fleas. They're pretty hypoallergenic, so it was kind of like the perfect dog, and I really was very interested in their looks. So there's her suspenders.
No, she's much prettier than I am. More like Helen, maybe.
Well, I always said Corbu has hair where Marvin doesn't, and Marvin has hair where Corbu doesn't. Since she doesn't have fur, I decided she needed fur. So I bought her a fauve fur jacket. They have to be protected. They have to wear sunscreen in the summer, number 15 like we do. And in the winter, they get chilly and they have to wear sweaters or a t-shirt. So they're very human-like.
Unlike their designer-clad Beverly Hills cousin, Simon's Huskies, protected by their thick natural coats, live outside year-round. They're fueled by a protein-laden but monotonous diet of halibut, bones and all. Life for these Huskies is hard and short. After 5 years of arduous work, they are shot to make way for younger, stronger dogs. Jakobshavn is a town of 4,000 people and 5,000 dogs. Here, dogs are like cars. People can't live or work without them. There are strict parking regulations. And to maintain the purity of this Rolls-Royce of the Arctic, only Greenland Huskies are allowed in town. Constant medical attention from Jakobshavn's council workers ensures that all the town's dogs are roadworthy. But Simon is worried that a wounded paw has put Keu, his lead dog, out of action.
It's Keu, that one. It's the leader of my dogs. But maybe I don't use it tomorrow because there are a hole here in his... Look.
On their rounds, council workers clip the front fangs of every husky to minimize painful injuries from dog fights.
So if he's not the leader, who is the leader?
The black.
Has he been leader before?
No.
He's never done it?
No.
So are you worried he won't do it as well?
He does well, I know. Because I'm chief of the dogs. He shall be strong, that he can tell other dogs what I say to him.
Are you and the dog are friends?
Yes, best friends.
Simon, when he's old, what will happen to him?
There are a man here in Jakobshavn that shoot them. I never shoot my dogs, and they did. There are some of the fishermen that do it. So we give it to them and go, and after we are going, they shoot it. Because if we didn't do it, there will be 1 million dogs here in Jakobshavn, you know. So they must do it. Hey.
A lot of people don't think that dogs can live happily, successfully in the city, but actually I feel that dogs get more attention, more love, because every time that he needs to go out, I have to go with him. There's no quote-unquote backyard to just stick him in for the whole day where he can while away the hours, and they actually get more attention, more affection living a city life.
Job Michael Evans is one of New York City's leading canine behavior therapists. Job and his colleagues often have to pick up the pieces when dogs don't provide the stress-relieving companionship their big city owners counted on.
When I first saw him, he was walking on the street, and he came up to me, and he was very sweet. And so I said, what a cute dog, and a person said, do you want him? And I said, yes, I do. And he came upstairs very nicely, and then when I got him upstairs, he humped my leg right over there. And
Carrie and her beagle Ace have just started sessions with their dog therapist.
And it was pretty frightening. He then proceeded to bite me.
The basic 5 words, heel, sit, stay, come, and down. And every dog owner just train their dogs to do those basic things, especially the word down. The famous go to your place and lie down and stay. Think it over. There's very little trouble a dog can get into if he's lying down and staying. What can he do that would be that terrible? So just to train the dog, go to your place and lie down and stay. Obviously, give him a place. Put his bed there or blanket or something nice for him, put his toys there, just so he has his corner on the world.
In the remote jungles of Papua New Guinea in the South Pacific, dogs and their owners have to get along. The old hunting life carries on much as it did when dogs were first domesticated. Men and dogs use each other's talents to survive. Bisok and his dog Babby are famed as the best hunters in the village of Arapmin. Their neighbors are full of excitement as the men and their dogs gather to begin a hunting trip into the jungle in search of their prized game, the tree kangaroo. In this society, dogs, men, and their prey have been intimately related since the world began.
Long ago, in the beginning of time, there were people, dogs, and tree kangaroos. When our goddess Afek told the people and the dogs to cover their eyes with their hands, she sent the tree kangaroos off to hide in the caves, in the holes of the trees, and all over the bush. The people covered their eyes completely, but the dogs had bad hands, so they could see through them, and they watched the tree kangaroos hide. So dogs can now find them quickly.
Before Bisok and Babby set out to hunt the tree kangaroo, the dog's head is rubbed with magic leaves to help him find his prey.
When I rub my dog's face with these things I've collected, I clear away all of its problems, and then I take it up on the mountain, and it'll go quickly and find tree kangaroos. I take this ginger into the bush, scrape some off, chew it, and spit it towards the area I plan to go to. And then the dog will show me all the places where the tree kangaroos are. He'll show me like this. This is what you use.
Magic or not, the outcome of the 2-day hunting trip will depend on the skill of the dog. We and the villagers will later discover whether Babby remains the local hero. Some dogs have been elevated to worldwide stardom. Lassie does his glamorous work with the same skill and devotion as the most rugged husky or hunting dog.
Well, what I'm going to do is try to reconstruct the shot and Lassie come home. It's where he swam out of the river and he's very tired. And my father more or less designed this shot because the script is very vague. And it said, you know, Lassie is tired, he comes out. So my father constructed the scene and we'll take it from where he comes out of the river. Come on, Lassie, come on.
Bob Weatherwax is the son of the trainer of the original Lassie. This Lassie is the direct descendant of the first movie star. And obviously, talent runs in the family.
So he comes out, he's quite tired. Put your head down. Put it down. Put it down. He's moving slower. He can hardly walk. Crawl. Struggling on. Crawl. Come on, crawl. Stay. On his side. Trying to struggle forward. Crawl. Come on, crawl. Dig it up. Dig it up. Dig it up. Come on, dig it up. Dig it up. All right, come on. Come on, crawl. Come on, crawl. Crawl. Put your head down. Put it down. On your side. Put your head down. Put it down. Unable to continue, Lassie's found unconscious. Keep your head down. Keep it down. Keep that head down. Good. Stay. 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 Keep it down. But all's well that ends well. All right, come on. Come on, come on, jump. So, we like to show that because, you know, a lot of times they think we sedate our dogs, or how do they get them to do that, you know. But he's taught to do that. He's not sedated. Here, come on, hi-ho, way up. No, way up, hi-ho. Back up, hi-ho. Way up there, get up, way up, hi-ho. Hi-ho, hi-ho. All right, come on, up.
Prayers for the souls of departed dogs and stylish burials in luxurious graveyards are just two of the ways in which humans can repay a lifetime of dogs' devotion. At a Shinto temple in Japan, the artistically packaged ashes of departed dogs, as well as their living descendants, take part in this service of remembrance. Dogs have become so essential to human happiness that people are prepared to break the law for the sake of puppy love. At any moment, the authorities might come calling on this Beijing woman. Her much-loved but illegal dog was brought to her one rainy evening by two desperate boys.
The dog had its front paws wrapped around the boy's neck. They stood there at my door in the rain because their parents wouldn't let them keep the dog. They stood there asking me to help. Everybody in my block came downstairs and told the boy that if he didn't leave immediately, they'd kill the dog.
All kinds of pets, except dogs, are on sale in the market. The occasional sale of a puppy is done with one eye peeled for the police. Illicit dog owners live in constant fear.
These measures are harsh measures, so all this makes me very nervous. I certainly don't dare take it out for a walk. I'm frightened that someone will see it.
Dogs may constitute a subversive threat to the Chinese authorities, but amid the sophisticated affluence of other countries, they live as luxuriously as any human citizens. In Japan, neurotic dogs may be prescribed a high-priced trip to these volcanic sand baths. Their more canny cousins will wheedle a weekend break out of their owners in a style to which they are accustomed. A 5-star hotel with a comfortable bed along with your own personal veterinary nurse, all for a mere $100 a night. And that includes a gourmet dinner of steak. The most esoteric canine requirements concocted by the human imagination are met with a willing smile and a hefty bill.
So many dog owners are now living in apartments. It's difficult to keep dogs. They worry about disturbing the neighbors and so get their dogs' vocal cords cut. I operate on about 10 small dogs per month, like Pomeranian and Poodles. We cut their vocal cords.
People enjoy spending money on their dogs. In the U.S. alone, the bill for biscuits, baubles, and the other necessities tops $6 billion a year.
These are their children. They're little four-footed children. They don't have real kids. They like to dress them up. They like to buy them nice things. They buy them necklaces. This looks quite elegant, say, on a Doberman Pinscher. Okay, and little Ripley here doesn't like to go out and pee-pee in the rain. So for just such an occasion, we have an umbrella. We've got lovely little satin ruffled number. This would make a lovely wedding dress.
This is a happy coat, a kimono. Dogs wear it like this for festivals and tie a belt around the waist. This is how it's worn.
We have Le Pooch. There's a male scent and a female scent, and it just spits them up. You get a little spritz, and oh, don't you feel handsome now?
When I look at a little tiny lap dog and look at the wolf, I laugh. But on the other hand, when I take the time and I work with that little lap dog and I pet it and I socialize with it, then I realize that, yeah, there is a little bit of the wolf in there. You can really tell that, yeah, that is some part of that wolf in that animal.
No bite. Leave it. No bite. Come on, down. Down, Ace. Ow! Damn it.
Hey, stop it.
Ace. Okay, let go.
Carrie, what do you want here?
Since he bit me, I have trouble. Then when he
I
goes
understand.
to me, what do you do
but
when he's
listen,
there?
You need to understand, too. One is you drop your leash, so you're free game here.
Okay.
So you don't have any control. The other is you're constantly backing up and trying to give him commands. It doesn't work. Hey, no bite, no bite, no bite. The dog is going to read your body language more than what you're saying. You keep expecting him to respond to words. It's not the words here. The other thing, you know, if I had a knife and I kept on going like this with you, would you do the same thing with me? Don't do that, Brian. Stop it. Leave me alone. All right? You'd stand there and you go, don't do this.
I'd shoot you.
But that same assertiveness you don't use with him. From the dog's point of view, it's open-ended. He can escalate with his aggression immediately. I need you to set your feet and saying, you're not doing this to me.
Yeah, the last time I did that, he ruined these boots.
No, but that's because you hop around. I mean, Carrie, you're like a large squeaky toy. And you wonder why he doesn't respond.
Dogs have been used pervasively, particularly in the last 2 decades, in riot control. Apart from the other ordinary policing functions like sniffer dogs and border patrols, and they've been devastatingly effective. One particular event which is etched in my mind is the use of about 24 Alsatian dogs to disperse what was known as the Frelimo Rally in about 1975, a peaceful crowd chanting of about 10,000. And 24 dogs were unleashed on this crowd. And the effect was electrifying and terrifying. The crowd just ran in panic, trampling on each other. They were caught against a bank. The dogs tore into the crowd. It was an appalling sight, and certainly for me it brought home how effective dogs are as a means of crowd control.
A new breed called the South African German Shepherd has been created by Dr. Peter Gravenstein. Its aggression can be controlled with the extraordinary precision of a laser-guided missile.
Very stable temperament, self-confident animal, and really not aggressive towards me at all, and towards children or other people, not over-aggressive. But when my wife calls him in, like I said, that's a braaf dier.
This dog has been bred to be a Jekyll and Hyde.
He is trained to a high degree of protection towards the family. You'd get this reaction if I would approach the family. But immediately, if she gives the dog the command to go down and leave me alone, I could call the dog in again and play with him. Like, hier was, hier braaf dier. Ja, het is dier. Ja, sy raak op plek. Sit. Ja, is 'n braaf dier. Woman. Right. But as soon as somebody approaches the family, my family, we'd get the same dog then turning aggressive towards the guy.
Thousands of years of selective breeding have created dogs for every taste and use. The growth of middle-class pet ownership in the 19th century created more and more extreme breeds that were comically enslaved to fashion. Louis Doberman had his own ideas for the perfect dog to accompany him on his less than welcome rounds as a rent collector. His new recipe mixed up a bit of Rottweiler, a dash of Manchester Terrier, a touch of Beauceron, a hint of Greyhound, and a sprinkling of Pinscher. The result was the Doberman Pinscher, a dog widely adopted by security forces around the world. In southwest England, an old breed is giving birth to a new one. These newly named Tudor Hound puppies were produced by a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, which was mated, surprisingly, with a racing dog, a Whippet. The puppies get their name from a resemblance to certain dogs thought to have existed during the reign of Henry VIII. But the first Tudor Hound puppies were bred for practical reasons.
I thought if I crossed it with a Whippet, I'd get something that would catch the rabbits. We had lots of those around my old home, and the Cavaliers, they go after the rabbits, but they obviously weren't fast enough, and I thought if I had a cross with a Whippet, that they would kill, but they didn't turn out to be very good killers because they'd just got that spaniel gentleness, and they wouldn't go in at the last minute and put bait to the rabbit.
Tudor Hound enthusiasts are hoping for official Kennel Club recognition, but the process is lengthy and demanding.
And of course, with the Kennel Club, you've got to have 4 generations and quite a number of puppies at the 4th generation before they'll consider them as a new breed.
The particular beauties of a breed are judged in the show ring, where an intimate tickle helps a bulldog to look his best.
Their look very much appeals to me. They've got their total individual look, and their personalities are so different, their temperaments. They're very, I think this is where they probably get very taken with British people, because they're like we are. They put up with any amount of pain, and you can push them and lots of things. But if you do upset them to that point where they snap, you'll know about it. And it's the same with us as people. You know, we sort of very laid back. We're not like the Italians. We're not like any other nationality. We're quite unique. And the bulldog is as well.
However diverse, each of the wolves' varied descendants has its own particular admirers.
I think she's very beautiful. She's very exotic looking, and she's easy to maintain. I mean, I just dip her in the bathtub and take her out, dry her in 2 seconds, and it's simple, and I like that idea. And she's very lovable. I mean, she's the type of dog that likes to sleep next to you, and she gets between your legs, which bothers Marvin a lot because he's afraid if he moves over that he's going to squash the dog, and I'm used to it, so I kind of sleep around her. And she's just, you know, she's a real good companion.
There's a lot of lonely people in the city, and it's very easy to begin to relate to the dog as if he or she is another human. I feel that we always have to remember that they are not humans. They are not little people in fur coats. They are dogs. They are different species that made a covenant with us long, long, long time ago, thousands of years ago. And part of that covenant is that we are their leaders. It's the only way. It's not going to work any other way. We can be friends. We can be buddies. Sport, my Dalmatian, is my little freckled friend, but I'm his leader. And I'm the person who calls the shots. And he wants it that way.
What's the price?
Dogs are amiable and adaptable. We can train dogs to please us, and we can change dogs, either to satisfy our aesthetic demands or to meet our needs for particular kinds of skills. Our dogs will tolerate endless human attention. But have dogs become too much of a human plaything? Isn't there something faintly undignified about this friendship?
The usual thing that's inflicted on dog owners, usually by people who don't like dogs, is, well, you dog people, you just have dogs as substitute kids. And that's not the point. What Freud said is that we get a dog more to get back to the kid in ourself, the free, open, spontaneous individual who gave unconditional love to everybody, who trusted. And that's what the dog is. The dog is a kind of cultural icon.
For a start, they can't talk. And if they can't talk, they can't criticize. So they can never say anything unpleasant about you. They can't tell you you look stupid today. They can't tell you you're ugly. They can't tell you you're poor. They can't tell you all of these things which people can tell you. And people, as a consequence, can be slightly threatening in that sense. There's always an implicit threat with relationships with people.
As the winter ice of Greenland begins to break up, Simon's dogs await their pack leader's command to begin the journey home. Kayu's paw is healing, so he'll remain lead dog. Simon relies on his husky's homing instincts and knowledge of ice conditions to get him safely back to his family.
Sometimes my dogs find that the ice is bad, so they nearly stopped and look back to me. Then they will say, "Simon, the ice is bad." So I understand what they want to do. I can tell them, "Don't go this way, go to left." But the dogs, they are good here.
Specialization makes dogs ideal working partners, but it also means that when dogs don't do the tasks they were designed for, they can become unhappy and maladjusted.
People find they have terrible behavioral problems with ordinary border collies, a very popular dog and a popular pet. But the border collie has been bred for hundreds of years to herd sheep, and it's a very firmly ingrained instinctive behavior to herd things, to pursue things, to show what they call eye, to show that stalking pattern of behavior where the animal fixes its eye on a moving target and tries to get round behind it. What happens if you put that dog into a kind of suburban family environment is it finds other things to do. I've heard of cases of border collies which herd the children in the household. So every time a child runs, the dog rushes around and tries to bring them back again, which is obviously irritating for the child and the parents and everybody. There'll be dogs who become excessive about fetching sticks or fetching things. And they'll find things for you to fetch, and they'll pick up ridiculous things like paper clips and give them to you and hope that you'll throw them. And this kind of obsessive sort of behavior is a direct consequence of the fact that the animal is not being employed for what it was originally bred to be employed. And so it's a badly adjusted animal.
Dogs are incredibly versatile. Their keenness of smell, about 1 million times more sensitive than a man's, allows them to sniff out modern-day prey like illegal drugs that might be slipped into this nightclub.
But if anybody wants to get into a nightclub with drugs, you can only search a person's body over their clothes. You can't actually strip search them in front of a queue, and you can't strip search 1,000 people coming in on a weekend. So the easiest place for them to put them is like in their socks, down their underwear. The girls bring them in their bras. Anywhere they can put them, they'll bring them in. Whereas the dog doesn't need to search anybody, doesn't need to touch anybody. Its sense of smell has been developed to go for certain types of drugs like amphetamines and ecstasy and anything, which means that if the dog pulls towards a certain person, we know for a fact they are carrying something. It's never been wrong. It's never pulled towards somebody and we haven't found something.
Dogs can do things humans and machines can't. The drug-sniffing dog may become as familiar a symbol of man-dog teamwork as the more idyllic vision of a sheepdog on a hillside.
Initially, the dog cost us £4,000. It was very much worth it. If somebody feels more safe going into a club knowing that somebody's not going to be coming up to them and asking if they want to buy any drugs or seeing people taking drugs, I think that would make people more comfortable into coming into that particular club. So the dog has worked as a deterrent and it's increased the capacity of people we normally bring in on a weekend. So I would say it's paid for itself already in the last 4 months.
As a hunter, Bissock couldn't be in business without his dog, Babby. Babby has sniffed out a tree kangaroo, a sort of opossum. He's cornered it and then called his master to finish the job. Thanks to Babby and the other hunting dogs, the families of Irapmin will eat well this month, as baked tree kangaroo adds some crucial protein to their limited diet of yams.
He kills many tree kangaroos for me. So when he dies, I'll make a real party. What kind of party will I have to mourn for my dog? I'm not a white man who saves money, so I won't be able to buy rice or tinned fish and pay my dog back for his work. If I keep thinking about my dog dying, I'll start crying right now, and you'll all be very ashamed.
Caillou leads the Husky team on their last journey of the season, bringing Simon home. As the eldest dog in the pack, Caillou will meet his inevitable fate. Man and dog are locked in a fatal attraction. Even though we don't always treat them like it, dogs are our best friends. The wolf's descendants are man-made animals poised sometimes uncomfortably between nature and civilization. The new breed of Tudor Hound puppies are beginning to grow into handsome young dogs, another breed to compete for our attention and affection. Some dog lovers prefer a worker, a playmate, a hunter, a docile companion, or simply an ordinary mongrel. For many people, though, the love of dogs is focused on a particular breed.
Well, she's my second love in my life. I mean, I have my husband Marvin and I have Corbu. And she's just, to me, if there was a fire, the first thing I would do is pick the dog up and run out of any type of, situation. I mean, she's just like an extension of my life. And I think that's important. I think that in life you have to have important things, and to me, material things aren't as important as something that is alive and breathing. And she's given me so much.
Does Marvin get jealous?
No, you don't get jealous, do you, Corbu? Oh, well, that's not true. You do. When we're together sleeping close by, and then Corbu decides that, she needs to be in the middle, and she starts, what? She starts pushing you aside.
She always nuzzles in between us, so I haven't been close to my wife for 4 years.
Do you think in any way your relationship with her is unhealthy?
I can't see one reason why. I mean, if something makes you feel good and you're not hurting anybody, I can't see why that would be unhealthy. I mean, it's a joy. And she gives so much, like I said before, so do you think it's unhealthy?
Dogs have made it to the pinnacles of power and influence. The way we've made them and continue to shape them, the way we live with them and love them, makes our friendship with them a very human story.
Come on, let's go. Well, suddenly I had this living, breathing creature that wanted to be loved. I had to touch it and hug it. And I didn't have much touching and hugging when I grew up. And by having a dog to propel me, it just changed. I mean, I had energy to live life, not to just survive it.
Dogs are entirely spontaneous. For example, if I've had a real difficult day, and as I'm walking towards him, here I see this dog jumping up and down. His eyes are aglow. He's sort of saying, wow, you're coming, you're here. That draws me out of myself in an incredible sort of way. Here is this creature who's genuinely happy that I'm around, that I'm caring for him. I think that's one of the things that dogs bring to their owners. It's a gift. It's a gift of affirmation, of love, of, they're continually saying, I want to be with you.
Dogs. Throughout time, they have been many things to us. A superstar known the world over. A political animal. An ace salesman. Darlings of the art world. Best friends. Welcome back to A&E's exclusive special presentation of Dogs. A look at one of the most enduring friendships in history. Friendship between people and their dogs, and dogs and their people. I'm Jack Perkins, and this is Browser. We welcome you. And we remember that it was Cervantes in Don Quixote who wrote the famous line, "Every dog has his day." Well, from Lassie to Benji, some of our favorite celebrities have been dogs. Whether they're pulling our heartstrings or our purse strings, we adore them. Join us now as A&E presents the members of the canine world who have gained fame and fortune.
Someone once said that there's only two pictures, those with dogs in it and those without. And the only good picture is a picture with a dog in it. I'm not so sure, but there is something that has gone on before me and always will.
William Wegman's photographs feature his two favorite models, his Weimaraners, Faye and Bettina. They've made him a rich man, and in their world, they're as famous as Marilyn Monroe. Dogs can be used as visual shorthand for a powerful range of emotions. It's a fact not lost on image makers and politicians. Being photographed with a pooch is as much a part of any political campaign as kissing a baby. Dogs have been consulted on matters of state.
My dog Millie knows more about foreign affairs than these two bozos.
No one can be all bad if they own a dog, even if they're a politician. When a young Richard Nixon was accused of accepting illegal gifts, he called on the newly acquired family Cocker Spaniel to testify to his master's good character.
It was a little Cocker Spaniel dog.
Nixon saved his career with an irresistible 1-2 punch, referring to both his 6-year-old daughter and his dog.
Named it Check. And you know, the kids, like all kids, love the dog. And I just want to say this right now, that regardless of what they say about it, we're going to keep it.
A Spanish advertising agency pulled the same emotional strings with Pippin and his vain attempts to gain his master's attention.
if your best friend leaves home, it may be because you're watching too much television. Learn to watch television sensibly.
William Wegman's art occupies a unique niche in photography. Prestigious museums exhibit his work, and even at $10,000 a print, collectors line up to buy it.
For me, a good picture is a portrait of Faye or Bettina as their own personalities. Those are the ones I say, I can't sell, these are ones for me. They're pictures of my loved ones, and I have a hard time giving those to the public. But then there's some other more abstract ones, which I think are more interesting as art, and those I think are suitable for everyone. Sometimes there's a picture that does both, and those are, for me, the greatest ones that I've done.
He's currently working on a series of Faye's favorite fairy tales, beginning with Cinderella.
Could switch them. That one could be in her hand. That's more dramatic.
Wegman works on large format Polaroid. He and his assistants can spend days working on a single pose, finally balancing the elements of dog and human to engage our emotions, conjuring up the perfect picture.
They're very compelling dogs to look at, and after I photograph them, I fall in love with them and see them in a whole different way. Other people too, if they visit me at home, they'll notice that they're in the presence of Faye, who they've seen in pictures, and they treat just like Marilyn Monroe if they could have met her. It's a kind of awe that is sort of odd. What
do you think they think of the whole process?
I don't know. I know that they know that they're working, that this is a studio where they're doing this kind of thing. I know they don't really know, and I'm not sure that they can see in 2 dimensions whether they see the pictures or not, but they like having something purposeful to do that isn't just silly. They see it as serious, I think. They also like to be where we are. If I was pumping gas at a gas station, they would want to be there rather than home. Yeah, they're well paid. Well, I bought Faye a country home in upstate New York last year, and Bettina's working on a beach house in Maine, so she's getting there.
Andy, sit. Sit, Andy. Andy, Foster, sit down. Sit, Andy. Stay. Stay, Andy. Andy, no. Sit. No. No. Foster, no. Foster, no. Sit, Andy. Foster, no. Good boy. Good boy. You stay. Foster. Stay. It's coming. Stay.
Hollywood is where dogs with star quality come to make their fortunes. The old adage may be never work with children or animals, but boy, does it pay.
Come on, Rennie! That's a good boy. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. I'm glad to see you. Come on, get the ropes on. Take them off. That's a boy.
To welcome your host for the show.
No Hollywood studio would be complete without its kennel of contracted canine actors.
Thanks, folks. Welcome to the Animal Show. Before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about all the trainers you're going to see today. We all come from very different backgrounds, but we have 2 things in common. That's a love and appreciation for our animals. Special guest star, it's Benji. Come on out here, Benji. Come over here. Benji's got a new part in the upcoming Backdraft 2. Now, Benji, the directors have called. Sit. Lie down. Stay. And now what they want to see you do, stay. I want you to stay for just a second. Stay. Okay, they want to see you crawl into a big burning building. Excellent. Once you get inside, though, your lungs full of smoke and you pass out from smoke inhalation. Pretty convincing, Benji. Now, a fireman realizes poor Benji's been inside too long, folks, and he realizes Benji's dead. With his eyes open. Now, the fireman takes you outside, Benji. He sets you gently on the ground. Okay, you're still passed out, though. And then you jump up and you rush back into the house and save those kittens. Now, Benji, you've got some oxygen. You jump up, you rush back into the house and save those kittens. The kittens are burning, Benji. Fine, we'll just get another dog to do this part then.
Stay, stay.
Good, stay, good.
An off-screen canine assistant helps his leading man turn in a compelling performance. Like any human star, this dog has a trailer, a trainer, and a series of stand-ins.
Jump. Good. Sit. Sit. Okay.
He does get tired, and what we do is we have a team of 4 other tequilas, so five of them are actually working for the show, and they all have different roles, and we have a stunt one who'll do jumping out of windows and breaking away and all that. We have a running and jumping dog who does a high-speed run, and we have driving dog, which usually is in a car sitting there, and so we switch them back and forth. And what we do also is we use a standing dog, which is a stuffed dog that you saw, which we use them for lighting, and every time rehearsal and all that, we use that dog, so we don't run them out.
I did that yesterday. There we go.
Go on. Yeah. Get up there. Get up there. Get up there. Good. Good. Sit down. Sit. Sit.
Well, he does no action, and sometimes he'll get his cue before the director will say action, and you'll see him coming in, or when it wasn't actually his turn. But other than that, he's still pretty much dog.
Foster.
Stay.
Stay. Stay. Probably Hollywood's most famous animal actress, Universal Studios is bringing back her series. It's Lassie. I need one of the little folks. Come up here and help me, Lassie. You want to help me out, young man in the front there? Seth, have a seat in the chair right there. Now, Seth, it's very important that our dogs be able to take directions from our actors and actresses, so you're going to be my actor, okay? In the back, we have a big pile of clothes. Anything you can think of. I want you to whisper 2 things into Lassie's ear, Seth. She'll run backstage and get them for you, okay? Any 2 things you can think of. Pants, shirts, shoes, socks, coats, gloves, anything else. Okay, Lassie, go on back there, get that first thing Seth asked for. Now, she's been doing really good at this the past couple of weeks, pretty much been 100%. Let's see what Seth wanted. Bringing out that first item. Come on out here, Lassie. Okay, Seth, Lassie brought you out a hat. Did you ask her for a hat? You asked for a hat? Yep. Good job. Got the first one right. Go on back there, get that second item. Going for 100%, she always gets the second item right. Let's see what Seth asked for here. Seth, you asked for that. I can't either. Take that.
The original Lassie did the 7 pictures for MGM from 1942 to, I think, 1949. Then we retired him, or my father retired him, and we started this Lassie, his son, and he portrayed Lassie from 53, I think this picture says 58, and then his son. So there's been seven all. I have the 7th generation.
Bob Weatherwax owns Lassie, the dog and brand name of the most celebrated of all dog actors. These collies have starred in 8 films and numerous television shows. The Lassie family and the Weatherwax family have supported each other for 50 years.
Well, Lassie, here, look. Here's Lassie's trademark. Lassie, put your foot up. Now, if we're going to enter, Lassie comes up on the mountain to look down on the sheep. Come on, go on up there. Get up there. Hurry up. Hurry up. Here, come here, look. All right, here, speak. 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 Look. Go on, turn your right. Go on, turn your right. Turn. Now, if it was the other side, we want to make it in or out. All right, go on, turn your left. Turn. Just like an actor, he always plays to the camera. Sit. Lie down. A lot of working Lassie is done with voice inflection so that he understands off my voice, but then if he was to get excited, all right, come on up. Here, look, here, speak. Come on, speak. If I transfer from my voice to the feelings of Lassie, if Lassie's to be excited, I change and I make him excited off of me. Well, definitely the eyes of the souls to everything, you know, in an actor or anything. I think it's all through their eyes, and I think the original Lassie was a beautiful dog. I just saw the movie the other day, one of them, and he had these great, large, expressive eyes with nice, dark pupils, and it was like a human eye, and you know, like a person or anything. I think the eyes of Judy Garland's eyes, that's the whole key. Star quality, Mickey Rooney had it. I've had dogs that have had it. It's just that special look, that certain thing that catches the camera, catches the director. That I've had different dogs. They can get apart no matter what. It's not even designed for them. It's supposed to be for a little dog. I show him this big dog. I don't want to see a big dog. I bring him out. He looks and says, you know what? We're going to change it. That dog has it because he has that look.
We're looking for this dog that the camera's going to fall in love with the great eyes, and we're looking for this actor.
And as a thoroughly professional actor, Lassie studies his great-great-great-great-grandfather at work.
There's something about the collie breed. It's everything. It's a John Voight. It has the tenderness, the love, but yet it's a big enough dog that can be your hero, that can go out and save you and swim the river and, physical. Well, economically, they're the best thing to work with. They don't have agents. They don't get residuals. We can shoot a dog movie probably a lot cheaper than we can shoot another movie. And there's always that audience because it's a thing with children. It's a children's commodity, and it's something that the audience always replaces itself. Plus, we capture mom and dad because Lassie's audience is nine usually down, and they cannot go out without the mother and the father, so they must take them, and we have all of it.
Stay and sit. Sit.
Right back,
Sit.
right back.
Here. What's this? Here. Tanya, look. Oh, she thinks she's putting her foot on the tin.
Merchants and manufacturers know that dogs make economic sense. When the right breed meets the right product, it's a match made in commercial heaven.
Your dog is doing fine.
In Britain, for nearly 30 years, a succession of Old English sheepdogs have peddled Dulux, the most popular brand of paint. Internationally, manufacturers can count on dogs to make people feel good about spending money.
It's true, isn't it? I mean, Dulux is a tin of cold white chemicals, and it's the values that the dog brings to it that transforms it into something that you want and need and create a desire for. It is he who has all the cardinal virtues that we would expect of humanity, but very seldom get. And I suppose that those values are domesticity, warmth, empathy, he's cuddly, he's friendly.
This carefully crafted campaign ensures that a lot of British consumers, when they want to buy a can of paint, say Dulux.
Let's see it back. Hang on, let's see it back.
Can dogs sell anything? Well, how else could you make toilet paper appealing? Or hammer home an American department store's message,
no one should be left off your Christmas list.
Like your new dog art, right?
A much-loved campaign for English beer was built around the animal cunning of a Jack Russell Terrier.
Doesn't do much, does he?
If you take the little dog that we used in the John Smith's adverts, for instance, as little Jack Russell, and I think in that instance what the Jack Russell does is it fills out Arkwright's life. I mean, Arkwright's life consists of Arkwright, his wife, his friend, and his little dog.
On end.
Tonto must have his exercise, pet.
I suppose I'll have to take him tonight. Who wants to see all the little bunny bunnies then?
His little dog is like Arkwright himself. He's sort of, he's cunning, isn't he? He's unthreatening, but he's cunning. And he usually gets his own way. So just as Arkwright is wedded to his ale, and the little dog is too.
Fancy a drop of John Smith's? He just needs the right motivation.
In Britain, the Old English sheepdog is hardly referred to as anything but a Dulux dog. Its choice was carefully calculated by Jim Tucker.
I can't think of any other breed of dog that will fit. For instance, if you think about Alsatians, Rottweilers, and Pit Bulls, I think guard, attack, kill, and a sort of raunchy working class. If I think about Poodles, Chihuahuas, and Pekingese, then I think of a middle-aged woman. I think of pampering, of being fey. But the Dulux dog is ageless and classless. It just looks floppy and friendly. It's a sort of dog version of the teddy bear.
The Dulux commercial not only sells paint, it sells a dream dog, too. Thousands of families fall in love with the Dulux dog's cuddly image, only to quickly find that the reality can be difficult to live with. Hundreds are abandoned every year to be rescued by Jill Harwood of the Old English Sheepdog Rescue.
We're dealing with between 800 and 1,000 a year, I should say, and most of those are rehomed. Yes, that's your...
By carefully interviewing prospective owners, she makes sure her dogs leave here and never return.
No, everything's exactly the same. You haven't had any more children or anything? No. I get at least 100 people ringing a week offering to give a home. A lot of them aren't really genuine. It's a spur-of-the-moment thing. They think they'll have an instant Dulux dog. When they realise that they're clipped off from their rescues and they're older ones and there's a little bit more to it, a lot of them drop out. Never mind. This is Sophie. Well, you can't help feeling angry. It's more sad, really. You look at the dog and you could just sit and bawl, you know, that somebody brings it in and dumps it here and off they go. And you could just sit and weep for the dog. She suits you. She's gorgeous. Thank you. She is very sweet. Oh, come on. It's been my life for nearly 30 years, and it's taken all my money, all my time, and now my health, unfortunately. There's going to come a time when I won't be able to do it. So I don't know what will happen to them then.
Crufts is the most famous dog show in Great Britain, as well as a battleground for the claims of British dog food manufacturers.
There's a new Crufts Supreme Champion, and for the 12th year running, it's a dog fed on Pedigree Chum. No wonder top breeders recommend it.
Pedigree is the world's largest manufacturer of dog food. Every year, their sales campaign is spearheaded by Crufts champions. Champions may promote Pedigree Chum, but for their rivals, Spillers, all dogs are salesmen.
There is a food for dogs so good that it contains over 50% more meat than the best.
Of course, the quest for canine perfection for some people goes well beyond choosing the right dog food and involves choosing the right hairdresser.
Jill, why are you doing this?
We've got two poodles that are going to a wedding on Saturday. They're being mated on Sunday, so really it's their wedding days. So really what we're doing is we're just sort of rinsing them pastel pink with a sort of vegetable dye. This is the same sort of rinse dye that you have on your cream cakes that you buy from the bakers. It washes out in about 2 washes, so it doesn't do the dog any harm whatsoever. It's just a bit of fun, really. And the dogs, when they're all finished, they like it. You know, they show off and, you know, they really look pretty.
For absolute perfection, perhaps a visit to the plastic surgeon?
We usually do the ear clipping, the tail docking, and some kind of the cosmetic surgery. For example, some dog doesn't have enough black on the nose or around the eye. So this is a machine for tattooing. Just to put the dye on some part of the surface of the body.
Most cuts sort of go from, I would think, from the minimum of £10 to about £50, according to what we do. If it's an Old English sheepdog or something that has to be sort of groomed right the way through, that have a tremendous lot of coat on, or something like a bearded collie, then you'll find it does take a long time, a lot of grooming, and the owners can't cope, so we will do that for them maybe once every 2 months.
Madison Square Garden in New York is the venue for America's top canine event, the Westminster Dog Show. Big and brassy, the show brings out owners who spend serious money grooming their dogs for championship status. In some countries, cosmetic surgery is banned. In the United States, it's common for some dogs and some dog owners.
We all offer a number of products and services for canine reproduction, including an ovulation timing test, a pregnancy test, DNA paternity testing, artificial insemination with both chilled and frozen semen, as well as breeder supplies for both veterinarians and breeders to use to better breed their dogs and do artificial insemination.
We also offer a number of training programs for veterinarians that are interested in becoming involved with canine reproduction in their veterinary practices.
Oh my God! Daisy! Look at the purple! Oh, Daisy, darling! Hello. Good girls. What do you think?
They look absolutely gorgeous, Kelly. They always do whenever I come and get them from here. Oh, you wait until Sunday. Hello. Right. Where's Jill?
She's out there.
What's happening to them?
She's hiding.
On Sunday, Daisy's going to be bred with an imported poodle from Peter's Posh Paws, and on Wednesday, Pepsi's going to be mated. So
why have you had them dyed this colour?
we thought it would attract the other dog more, and we just thought it would be nice. I mean, there's something different about them, isn't there? And it attracts attention. I can't wait to see people's faces in the street. I'm going to say they jumped in my bath when I was re-dyeing my lilac jumper and they couldn't get it out.
That's all right.
So Daisy's father was the Crufts champion and is on the pedigree chum tin, but I actually rescued them. My husband's allergic to dogs, so and I wouldn't part with them for the world. So if you're going to offer me money for them, forget it, because you won't get it. You beautiful little darlings. I love you very much. I can't wait to see the other dog's face when they go to be mated. She's going to die.
I have gotten before people who haven't watched me work saying, are you abusing the dogs, and is this humiliating for the dogs? But someone responding to the picture said that it was humiliating to humans to have a dog in the image of a human, and it completely baffled me, because to me it was just something really deep and age-old about play acting. I have an aversion to anthropomorphization, and it's sort of the easiest, cutest thing to do with a dog, and the first time I did it, I felt like I was being not only a bad person, but a bad artist. And so I started to do it almost with a vengeance, and I always try to restore the dog element somehow. At first, in one of the first pictures I did of Faye in a dress, I tossed a ball to her, so it was like her real retrieving notion, and then our illusions of this matron, which was that picture. Dogs are the only animals that really, I think, truly care about us. I've been told that by other animal trainers, that they don't do it just to get food, they do it for actually love, and I feel that's true.
Lassie, come here. Jump up here. Sit. Stay. Stay. So, come here.
Human stars grow old, but Lassie lives forever.
Turn around.
Bob is already training his successor, Lassie's son, Holly.
Lassie, sit. Sit.
When the
Stay.
time comes, and
Lassie,
only
stay.
then,
Don't you get
Holly
way
will
around.
assume the most
Hey, look,
famous
he
name
has
in the
more
dog
white.
world.
Hey,
And
Holly.
no one but Bob will be any the wiser.
Guy. If I were to replace Lassie with his son, it'll work because we just replaced one dog, so he might be a little larger, but you wouldn't know that. You have nothing to compare it to. As I say, all Lassies have been generally marked the same, even though their father, he's a little larger, he has a little more white, but once he replaced him, he will be the one. I really like the disposition. He has a great outgoing disposition. Lassie has a good disposition. He's a more sensitive. They're all different. He's greater for a sensitive role. He's a very sensitive dog, speak. But this guy would be great for just outgoing kind of comedy. You look a little comedy with that tongue, kid.
Do you like dogs?
Hey, that's about what I like in this business, about it. I tell you, if it wasn't the dog part, I don't know if I'd do the rest of it. That's the good
Stay.
part.
Stay. Stay. All right, come on. Come on, jump. Up. Ho.
And also, I feel that never trust anybody who didn't have a dog. You know, there's something about the dog thing.
The dog thing means, too, that the same emotions that sell products will unsparingly mobilize money and ingenuity when our best friends fall ill. The New York Animal Medical Center is full of human drama.
He's 6 years old. Had him since he's a puppy. And today, I found out that he has heart disease and that he's got about 6 months to live. So now we take it from there. 6 months to live.
Is there anything I can do?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. They're gonna give him some medication to help him if his lungs fill up with fluid, because when he got heart disease, it's not working properly, that's what'll happen. They'll try to make his pulse a little stronger, and hopefully he'll be happy until he goes.
All right, sweetie.
Okay, pal.
There we go. Hi, Bentley.
Heavyweight.
Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna take
the
your
leash
leash
off?
off. Yeah. Let's take a look at you. Hi, Bentley. Hi, sweetie. Do you want to come just stand by him? Can I help him so he doesn't take a giant leaf off the table?
Come on, buddy.
Hi, sweetie. Let's take a look at you. How's he been feeling?
He's been feeling a little better since the medicine. You know, it seems.
Just more perky?
More perky, yeah. Much better than he was feeling before we came to see him.
Yeah. What's he usually like?
Very, very perky, very jumpy, very friendly with everybody, excited when you come in. I always used to tell my family that nobody gives me a greeting like Bentley.
It's okay, Bent. I know, that's a sore eye. Well, like we talked about, you know, our options really are either to continue to try to treat him medically, but that's going to be lifelong treatment, and I can't foresee a really good outcome from it. We can try to put a prosthesis inside, and then the other option, of course, that we discussed was just to remove this bad eye. Are you still comfortable with removing it?
Yes, we're very comfortable removing the eye. It's so upsetting to see him like this and to see him in pain, and it seems like that's the best thing right now.
Yeah.
He's blind in any way, and it seems like it's just a problem to him now, so I think that's the best thing.
Yeah. Have you sort of come to grips with how he's going to look? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, we've thought about that. We've thought about how he's going to look half asleep all the time. And as my dad was saying before about the patch over his eye, we're going to make him look like a little pirate, you know. But yeah, we've come to terms with it, and I think we're ready for it. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Well, I went to my real veterinarian first, and he kind of checked him real quick and told me right away. And, you know, I was hoping maybe he was mistaken, you know. The dog was running around outside just before I brought him in. So I figured maybe his heart was raised because of that. But, you know, obviously the doctor is always right, and he knows the deal, you know. There's nothing more you can do.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going to take him home, make him as comfortable as possible, keep him nice and calm, walk him when he needs to be walked, and stay with him until, I mean, everything. He'll come to work with me. He'll do everything. If I go out to the store, he's coming.
What do you do for work?
I work in a fish market. A little advertisement to Lou's Market. That's my place, my father, my brother.
We just want him to be better.
Do you think his problem has made you get closer to him in a way from spending so much attention?
Definitely, because we were always very close, and then I had a baby, and you kind of see the dog a little bit less. And now we're really spending as much time with the dog as we do with the baby.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and find him a place to stay for the day.
Okay.
And I'll show you back out into the waiting room.
Okay, thank you. In good hands, Bentley.
Very important part of my life. You know, somebody to come home to. Just gonna miss him, you know. He's a good dog. We can get another one, but none just like him.
What sort of character's he got?
He's got his own character, you know. He's his own person. The dog's a person. You know, I spell things to him. He knows what I'm talking about. You know, whatever I tell him, he knows. Whatever. Danny. Come on, give him the camera at least, stupid. So last time we get to see you.
I should have known she was sick, because she just lay there. And we didn't take her to the vet until, it was like 10 o'clock, Sunday night. And as she got to the hospital, when he put her on the table, I opened up the towels, she had a seizure. And it has left a tremendous void in my life. It's like I can't pick up the pieces. What I do is she died on a Sunday, so every Sunday I have a picture of her, and it's on the window where she used to sit facing out on the street because I haven't been able to deal with looking at the pictures yet. So every Sunday I put 8 carnations, pink carnations, into a vase, a pink ballet vase. And I do that because I feel I'm doing something for her.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel better.
Yeah, so that kind of a ceremony helps
Yes.
you get through the
Yes,
day.
but it's the guilt of not taking her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But then she may not have lived, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we encounter, both as technicians and doctors, is the dilemma of about 10 years into practice, all those cute little puppies and kittens that we're so emotionally involved with start developing those terminal illnesses, as you well know. And in between ages 10 and 12, years out into practice, we're going to start having to go through the very painful experience of letting some of our best friends be put to rest. It's very uncomfortable for us and for the client. Part of the problem is that we have to ascertain that we've done the most that we possibly could for the animal, that we've treated it with the best medicine, and we've literally done everything that could possibly be done. I went through the experience of having to put my Doberman to sleep after he'd been here. We knew he had autoimmune hemolytic anemia. We'd done a splenectomy, we transfused him a couple times, and I kept transfusing him, hoping that maybe he was going to turn the corner, and he didn't. And it's very, very hard to let go because you're treating not just the animal, you're treating the client.
Well-groomed animals and owners are on their best behavior at the Westminster Dog Show. It's an annual chance for 2- and 4-legged members of the dog establishment to excel in the show ring. A flurry of expert coiffure precedes the big moment. Showing dogs here isn't a job for amateurs. Many of these owners never lift a brush. They rely on professional handlers like Clay Cody.
We're just putting a finish on these dogs to get ready to go into the breed ring.
Tell me what you're doing.
Just getting all the loose hairs off, trying to shine them up, dress them up. It's like a beauty contest. This is not my right neck. Where's the other one?
White neck?
Uh-huh.
This morning.
Thank you. We condition the dog both mentally and physically, trim the dog, transport the dog, and show him. And the reason people hire us, 2 different reasons. First of all, we can normally do it better than the owners themselves, and secondly, economically, it's a lot cheaper. So we take 15 to 20 dogs at one time, where an owner would take 1 dog, and a lot of people don't want to travel across country with a dog to this show, take care of them, bring them up into this building. It's hard to exercise them. It's not the best facilities in the world for a show. It might be one of the most prestigious shows in the world, but it's definitely not the best facilities for dogs. So it takes a lot of extra work.
I don't care. Stay back.
Jill Cohen, wife of a supermarket millionaire from Malibu, California, is just one of Clay's clients. She's flown across the country hoping to see her beloved wire-haired fox terrier, Freddie, pick up the top prize. Alas, in spite of Clay's best efforts, Freddie fails.
Hey, how was that? It was fine. How was it?
Tell me how you thought the showing went.
Well, the bitch showed well and looked well and should have won the breed. Doggy put the best opposite sex, didn't have a hard hair on his body.
How do you think you did today?
Pretty good for him. He's not a real dependable show dog.
Well, everyone wants to win the garden. This is one of the most important shows for an owner, handler, or exhibitor to try to win. But of course, it's like any other dog show. They judged the dogs on the day, and the judge today decided that she liked the #1 dog this year. The showing expenses of a dog in this country, because of the advertising, can run you anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 a year if you're really going with the dog and flying and doing things, trying to acquire a big winning year on a dog.
How much would you say do you invest a year in showing dogs?
Gosh. I don't know if I should say this because my husband, probably around, I probably spend a year, a couple $100,000 showing dogs.
I've had a lot of people write me letters after having this procedure and say that their dog has dropped 5 years off their life and they're just jumping around and really acting like puppies again. I think that sometimes we forget how much it takes out of a dog to just be in low-grade chronic pain for a long time. It's really, it ages them.
Sure it does.
And I think he's just gonna get a new lease on life, being without pain for the first time in 3 or 4 months.
Illness creates a family crisis. The Animal Medical Center offers a complete service, medical for dogs and psychological for their owners.
I was just speaking with Anita, and she asked me, was it difficult? And I said, no, it wasn't. It was a breeze. We went up to the cemetery, brought a lot of flowers. It was beautiful. It was colorful. But every time I come here, when I really have a chance to reflect on my feelings and think about it, it's a terribly profound loss. And I still miss her, I think. What I miss most is being able to hold her and hug her. It'll always be difficult. It was a very painful loss. I think it'll probably remain one of, if not the, most difficult losses in my life.
We'll probably have a patch over it anyway because it's so much shut.
So much shut.
I don't know. I'm nervous. I hope that everything's all right.
Did they hear something? Yes, they did. Yes.
I can't wait to see her.
Oh, God,
It's taking such a long time, too.
You know, if he wasn't so young, he was his age. He kept thinking that he would be okay, you know, because he was so young. If he was an older dog, he said he would expect maybe cancer or something, and he was so young, so I had this hope, you know, that he would be okay. And we just had him such a short time.
Hey, your good eye's okay, right? Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, Danny's my best friend, you know. He's my first, my dog, you know. I've had family dogs, I love them just the same, but this is my dog, you know. When I come home, if 3 people come home, the dog comes to me, you know.
You gotta be spoiled from now on, do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna get real spoiled. But I can't really feed him that much. I can't feed him junk because with the heart disease, no salt. You know, so now I gotta just get him on strictly dog food and none of the junk dog food, only good dog food.
Can you afford it?
Oh, yeah, take care of that. That's no problem. If they wanted to give the dog a heart transplant, I'd afford it. You know what I'm saying? $100,000, I'll pay. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? I give him 20 a week. You know, what am I gonna do? Because, you know, sure, I can get another dog, what, 300, 400, maybe 800, $1,000? But it ain't this dog, you know. It'll be just, you know, I'll bring him up the same way. But it's only gonna be this dog. Right, Pa?
3 weeks later, Danny died. From home movies like this of Danny to Hollywood superstars like Lassie and Rin Tin Tin, dogs have given us delight and comfort. In their short lives, dogs make as strong an emotional connection with us as most any family tie. It was Byron who wrote of dogs, they have all of man's virtues without his vices. Next on A&E's special presentation of dogs, we will see our canine best friends as heroes, saving lives in some obvious ways and in some unusual ways, in remarkable circumstances. We'll meet Ribbon, a dog who can predict his owner's epileptic seizures, and visit a prison where inmates are training dogs to work with the disabled. And we'll take a look at the truth behind the old myth of dogs raising human babies. Think back to the most important time of your life. I'll bet the people standing next to you made it special. Family and friends. Spending time with them molds our lives. A&E takes you beyond your circle and into the lives of people all over the world. Spend your time with great performers and great leaders. A&E is your ticket to a world of new people. So after you spend some time with your people, spend some time with ours. It's time well spent.